everybody, and thanks for joining us today for our Connect University. Hands-on Connect Cloud Solutions is excited to be able to provide any and all of the digital solutions you need, whether it's with our flagship volunteer management product, Hands-on Connect, or getting additional insight and training with these Connect University sessions, or learning about our partners' applications or our Connect Exchange series. We also offer Salesforce implementation and configuration, custom-built applications, additional administrative support through our virtual administrator services. Basically, Hands-on Connect Cloud Solutions has got you covered, whatever your technology needs are. And just as a reminder, I'll be recording this session for future viewing if you'd like to share it with your colleagues or possibly even with your partners, since this is going to just speak to how they can migrate their to-be scheduled opportunities to individually scheduled opportunities. My name is Larry Deckel. I'm the Hands-on Connect Cloud Solutions product manager, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to show this to you today. Our presentation is going to be a quick 20 minutes, and we'll show you how easily you can do this. And I will be available for a few minutes after the presentation to answer any questions that anybody has, or feel free to come to one of our daily labs to get more information on anything we show you today. So without any further ado, let's get started. So what are we going to do today? I'm going to speak for a few minutes about why to-be scheduled opportunities were replaced and retired in Hands-on Connect 3.0, and show you how your partners or you yourselves can quickly create new ISO opportunities to replace their existing TBS opportunities. So what happened to be scheduled opportunities? Well, when Hands-on Connect was first created, the decision was made to have some way to handle what was called referrals in the volunteer biz. Hands-on Network was using date and time specific opportunities where a group of people all volunteered at the same time, but a lot of volunteerism out in the sector was individually scheduled. Different people showed up at different times, and they just wanted to find out who was interested in volunteering. So at that time, the flexible ongoing opportunity that was introduced was called to be scheduled, and it got that name because it implied you'd have to schedule the volunteers yourself administratively, which you did have to do. But unfortunately, over the years, we've discovered that those to-be scheduled opportunities were awkward and very confusing to partners in a number of ways. For starters, all the opportunity coordinator knew was that somebody was interested, and then they would have to email or phone the volunteer to find out when they wanted to come and volunteer. On the back end of the system, partners had to be aware that if they confirmed those connections, they needed to update the start time and the end time. And if they didn't do that, then the defaults from the opportunity would be confirmed and volunteers would be scheduled for years instead of a specific time. It also, when you posted them on the system, if you needed volunteers at a special time, you couldn't be very precise about it. You could only say mornings or afternoons or evenings. And they were very time consuming to manage existing connections or add new connections. It took a lot of work. And as a result, a lot of partners just said, oh, this is too hard, and didn't use them. And in the case of partners who basically just wanted to recruit volunteers, but didn't want to schedule them in Hands-on Connect because they were using their own external system or whatever, there was confusion there as well, because volunteers were wondering why they weren't getting any feedback or anything after they expressed interest. So in 3.0, and in preparation for 3.0, we introduced a better kind of flexible ongoing volunteer project, which we called individually scheduled opportunity. And we wanted to create a better to be scheduled. And to ease the transition for partners who've been using to be scheduled, since we're not using them in Hands-on Connect 3.0, we didn't want to just cold turkey tell everybody, nope, your TBS opportunities won't work anymore. And so we've set them so that they can't be renewed. You can't create new ones, But as long as they're there, they'll continue to work in the sort of awkward way they've worked in the past. But the goal is that over time, these will simply go away and be replaced by individually scheduled opportunities. Now, a lot of people have been concerned, well, gosh, my partners have a lot of to be scheduled opportunities, and this means they have to rewrite them all and create new ones. And I want to show you today that you can do this really quite quickly and easily, and so can your partners. The biggest decision to make is what kind of individually scheduled opportunity do you want and best suits why you originally posted that to be scheduled opportunity. So there was only one kind of to be scheduled opportunity, but there's two kinds of individually scheduled opportunities. And I go into some real detail on this in the Hands-on Connect University from 2 weeks ago that defines the 4 opportunity types, and you might want to look at that video if you haven't seen it. But in short, a individually scheduled opportunity that has the registration type express interest with schedule, you create it and you say exactly when you want volunteers, not just morning, afternoon, or evening, but you can say, hey, Mondays 9 to 5 and Fridays 9 to noon for now until some specified end date. And the advantage is that when volunteers express interest, they can actually say when they want to come. So you don't have to call them or email them because they say, hey, yes, I'd like to come on Monday from 9 to 10, and all you have to do is approve them. So this makes it much easier for people to approve and confirm those opportunities, and you don't get any of that bad data. The other option is registration type express interest only. And that's used when you don't know when you particularly need volunteers. You might even not know where you want them to report. You just want to find out if they're interested or not. And so you say, hey, here's an opportunity. Are you interested in being involved in it? And any detail beyond what you choose to give, and volunteers simply say, hey, I'm interested. And then you can leave it at that. You don't have to confirm it. Volunteers don't necessarily expect a follow-up. But if you want to, you can still schedule them for that opportunity administratively. You can just download a list of the connections and deal with them as you choose outside of there. And it's really good for things like disaster response, or are you interested in being a board member, things where there aren't specific dates and times yet scheduled, but you just want to find out, hey, who's interested in it. So before you convert your to be scheduled opportunity to an ISO, the thing you need to do is decide, hey, do I want it to be a individually scheduled with schedule? Do I want to say when I want people to come? Or do I just want them to express interest and I don't want to have to do anything else? Once you've made that decision, it's pretty quick and easy to take an expiring to be scheduled opportunity and convert it to a new individually scheduled opportunity. And let me show you how I've been doing it. So I'm going to log into the partner portal here as Art Trout from Troutco, and I'm going to go to volunteer opportunities here. And because I'm interested in just my to be scheduled opportunities, I'm going to go to schedule type and look for what I've got that's to be scheduled. Okay, and I can see I've got sort of 4 in here, and self-reported volunteer hours doesn't really count. It's a special opportunity type. But I can see that I've got 2 that are approved and published and 1 that is in the past. And maybe I don't want to upgrade the one in the past. Maybe I'm only interested in the ones that are approved and published. So I'm just going to filter that a little further. So let's do both of these, okay? So the first one we're going to do is warehouse cleaners, okay? And this is an opportunity where I need people in our warehouse during certain times and so forth. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just to make my life a little easier, I'm going to open the link in a new tab. I'm holding down the control key on my browser because this way I can get back to that volunteer opportunity page when I want to. All right. And I'm going to look at this opportunity and see when it was I needed people to do. There's my opportunity description and so forth. And I want to convert this, and I want to make this a individually scheduled with schedule. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on edit. I'm going to just take a look generally at what's going on in this opportunity and so forth. But the hardest part of creating any opportunity is that description that you've already created for the to be scheduled. So I'm going to just click on source, and I'm going to select all, Command A or Control A, and copy it to my clipboard because I don't want to have to write this again. I'm going to use roughly the same description, okay? And now I'm going to go back to my other tab, and I'm going to click on Create Volunteer Opportunity. And I'm going to call this Warehouse Cleaners. And I might call this Warehouse Cleaners 2017, just so I don't confuse it with the old one, right? Or second half 2017, or I could give it the same name. I'm going to choose individually scheduled, and I want this one to be express interest with schedule. And now the hardest part of this, I'm just going to click on source, and I'm going to paste that source code right back in here. And look, my opportunity description, all of it is there instantly. So now who's the opportunity coordinator? It's the same. Where's the location? It's going to be here. The same locations I had available before. I have the image thing in here. Most people don't. This is if you're using the featured opportunity block. This is going to be, our organization deals with arts and culture. The minimum age for this is going to be 18. It's a project. There's a couple of extra fields in my instance here, right? And now I just have to say, when is it that I want volunteers to be there? So I'm going to be specific. I'm going to say 9 o'clock a.m. until 12 o'clock p.m. and click add day and time. And now I also want people on Tuesday, and I want them from 9 o'clock a.m. until 5 o'clock p.m. That's to say I'm welcoming them at any time. I'm going to do it on Wednesday. And obviously I'm putting a lot of days in here. We'll make that 2 o'clock p.m. And we'll also do Thursday Thursdays we're going to start late because I like to have breakfast with my friends, p.m., add day and time, and click create. Whoops. Oh, and I forgot one field up here. When am I starting? I'm going to start this now, or I could start it for the day after my individually scheduled retires. And we're going to do that for, until the end of the year. I never schedule anything more than 6 months in advance. And I click create, and voila, I now have an individually scheduled opportunity. All right, I'm going to do one more and do it a little quicker this time, just to show you how easy this actually can be. I'm just waiting for that to save. All right, so I'm going to go back to volunteer opportunities. I know the other one I wanted to do had day of caring in it. And notice, if you don't want to use the filters, if you just type any part of an opportunity name, it's going to find it. So this is the day of caring planning opportunity. And again, I'm just going to open that in a new tab, mainly because I want to have the create a volunteer button available to me in my other tab. And this one, we were recruiting people for a committee. We don't know when the committee meetings are going to be or anything. So we're going to make this one individually scheduled, express interest only. Okay, and my system is running a little slow, as it does when I'm sharing my screen, but I'm going to click on edit because the main thing I want to get here is I'll note what the title is, and I'm going to grab that opportunity description. So I'm just going to hit source, copy, and now I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go create volunteer opportunity. And this is going to be Day of Caring 2017 Planning Committee. And it's going to be individually scheduled, express interest only, source code pasted in. There's my thing. I'm going to change it to Bob Smith. Now, for express interest only, you don't even need a location. And since we don't have any meetings planned, and I'm not going to put a date or a time, I'm just going to leave location blank. All right. Impact area, we're still an arts and culture organization. The minimum age, maybe I'm okay with 16-year-olds being on my planning committee. It's a project. I click next. when do we want to start listing this? I want to start recruiting today, and we're only going to recruit through the end of September because then real meetings are going to start. I click create and I am done. So it took me maybe 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds, because I was talking during it, to create this opportunity. And I can quickly just keep going back to my opportunities and grab all of my to be schedules and convert them in this way, and quickly create the replacements. It's really not terribly hard. And if you, as an affiliate, want to log in as your partner and do it for them, you could. I did 10 of these yesterday in under 10 minutes. Now, what about that old to be scheduled opportunity? Well, if it's expired, there's nothing else you need to do. But when these are submitted on the back end of the site, and I'm just going to run over here to the back end of the site because now I want to show you what you as an affiliate might do. So I'm going to go to volunteer opportunities, and I'm going to look at what is new this week. And there's my day of caring 2017. And I'm just going to run over to that, and I'm going to approve it. So I'll hit approve, which will have that ISO start launching. And then if your partner did have old to be schedules that were still around, I might go to Day of Caring Planning Committee, the to be scheduled version, because I don't want them signing up on two different things. So here's the to be scheduled one, and I'm just going to change the status of it to inactive, and now I'll only have one there. I won't have the old one. So if you know people are creating ISOs that are replacements for to be scheduled, you may want to just make their old to be scheduled inactive so that they don't have two different listings for the same opportunity. And that's all you need to do on the back end to get those opportunities put together. Now, I'm going to show you one other thing that I thought of the other day that might be a nice little tool for your partners. And that is, you could, if you have reporting turned on in your partner portal, you can create a report called to be scheduled expiration dates. It's a real simple report. I'm going to leave this on the screen for just a second so you can see it's filtered by, hey, for any end date greater than today, that's schedule type to be scheduled, and let's not put the self-reported one in there, and it happens to be currently active, right? Then get the volunteer opportunity name, the name of the organization, and the end date of that opportunity. And then you can put this in your partner portal folder, and if I go back to my partner portal here, as a partner, I can go to partner reports. And this way I can kind of see when my to be schedules are going to be expiring. So this might be a nice thing to share with your partners so that they can kind of determine when they want to make those conversions or not. And so I can see these two. This is an old version of the report. I could get a new one because I just retired Day of Caring Planning Committee. If I refresh this, it'll disappear because I just made it inactive. But this way they could see how many to be schedules they have. And if I had 10 of them, I could literally then kind of do them systematically and just replace them. So let me go back to my little presentation over here. So just a recap for your partner, they just need to go and search for their existing TBS opportunities, which they can do by filtering on schedule type. Open each one in a new tab and review the copy and the source code, and then create a new opportunity with the same or a similar title, paste the source code in and save it and submit it for approval. As an affiliate, when those new ones come in, approve the new ISO. And if you find a similarly named TBS opportunity that exists, set its status to inactive. And optionally, if you want to make a report for your partners so they can see when their TBS opportunities are going to expire, so they'll know when they've got them all converted, you can do that as well. This is just a screenshot of what I just showed you of the optional report. And here is the very simple report that you can create. And you can put more detail in this. This just had the basics. On the back end, it shows me every TBS opportunity, which is kind of nice for me to kind of know when they're coming up for people, because I'll see all my partners. A partner will only have access and see their own. So that's it for today, though I will stay on for any questions. We have some upcoming webinars coming up on Tuesday, August 29th. Our Connect series is going to talk about Mowgli SMS, which is SMS that is available through a second party. You can do text-based campaigns, surveys, and a lot more. That'll be on Tuesday. And next Thursday, we're going to talk about joined reports, the one report type that most of us have the least experience with. How do you make them? What are they good for? So if you want to learn about yet another report type that you may not be using, join us next Thursday. So thanks, everybody. By the way, at handsonconnect.org/webinars, all our past Hands on Connect University sessions are there. And so you can watch any of the old ones that appear there. And we are starting to place these recordings in the product documentation so that they're accessible to you in our help center as well. Thanks, everybody, for coming today, and we'll see you at a future Hands on Connect University.